Name, yes, but the name has been living on memories for quite some time. When you look at the position, the players and all this, they aren't really ranked highly. Oh, this could be a breakout year for Jared Guarantano. You going to take him over Bryant, over Tua, over Fromm, over Bentley? No. No, you're not going to do that. Even if it is going to be a breakout year. And that depends on what kind of protection he has and, all of that. Now, we were talking a little bit of the first time part of the show, and Pete Thamel over at Yahoo, he's reported that a conference official said that it seems that there's some momentum maybe for the Power 5 to reduce teams rather than to add them, which I'm a bit surprised, but then again, it's not that easy to kick out a team from a conference. Okay, the SoCon did it to ETSU, but they broke the bylaws. Just because you lose, somebody's got to lose. Somebody's got to finish in last place. You going to kick out Tennessee because 2 years ago they were 0-8 in the conference? I don't think I want to do that if I'm the SEC. So, what do you do? And also, college presidents, they like schools like Vanderbilt in the SEC. And more athletically orientated types, especially if they favor baseball, they like having Vanderbilt in the SEC. Always used to hear, they're going to kick Vanderbilt out, In the Midwest, they're going to kick out Northwestern. Still waiting. And it's not going to happen. Okay. But an interesting story, Connor O'Gara, Saturday Down South, is talking about, well, if we were going to cut out teams, who would we do? And here's the idea. The idea, as O'Connor writes, that regulation says, let's say it could happen. Because 2026 is going to be a year in which a lot of changes. At minimum, probably an expansion of the college football playoff. I don't like it, but I'm not as influential as the Big Ten. Marky Billson, Tri-City Sports Center. 1420 WEMB Sports Radio. Going to other extremes, possibly conferences breaking off from the NCAA. Quit telling us how to do it. We're sick of the lawsuits. We can make more money if we pay the players. That's an interesting concept right there. It's very interesting. Here's the thing. So, this is unlikely to happen, but O'Connor says, okay, here are the weakest Power 5 overall athletic programs. First one he chooses, Rutgers. That's not a big surprise now, is it? All right, I mean, that's really not, Rutgers, that was supposed to be, getting the New York City, the New Jersey market into the Big Ten. That would help out with the cable network, et cetera, et cetera. And maybe it did. But if the revenues start going more online, what does it mean? And that's a big if right there. Okay, so let's. But Rutgers, could they be? Every now and then you even see a story lamenting that Rutgers went big time football. I wonder how much that victory over Tennessee in '79 made them think that they could. And there's an idea that, it used to be Rutgers would play Princeton. First football game ever, right? Rutgers 6, Princeton 4. Or was it Princeton 6, Rutgers 4? No, I can't remember. Anyway, 1969. But that was the thing. They asked, would Rutgers be better off playing Princeton, playing Holy Cross, a bold try at Army and Navy occasionally? Or would they be better off in the Big Ten. Well, when you lose 77-0 or whatever it is that they have been to the major powers, it starts getting a little bit difficult to say, yes, we belong. That's football, but that's exposure. And really, hey, quick, what was the Scarlet Knights basketball record last year? Yeah, you don't know. I don't. They haven't even been to the NCAA since '91 in any conference, Big East or otherwise. So there is that, and it is interesting that Lou Holtz once said, maybe they ought to call themselves the University of New Jersey. Now, that's a lot to say because, and I understand where he's going. Then again, there is the academic tradition of Rutgers, so they probably won't do that. But the idea being, and they did try to start marketing after he said that, New Jersey a bit more. Problem is, you take a Saquon Barkley. That was a guy who was all signed, sealed, and delivered to Rutgers. They had really said he's going to be our diamond in the rough. He's going to be our guy that leads us to prosperity in the Big Ten. And what happens? James Franklin gets the Penn State job, and James Franklin says, you're too good to go to Rutgers. Number 2 on the list of who could drop out, and again, this is all very subjective, and I don't really think this is going to happen, Maryland. Because they haven't really done much. I mean, they're so clueless they didn't even fire DJ Durkin on the spot. They brought him back and then fired him. They wanted to bring Butch Jones into the fold after that. I mean, wait a minute. Maryland, they were the first team in the ACC to play in a New Year's Day Bowl. Are you aware of that? National basketball champs in 2003. I mean, I'm surprised. It's been an athletic program that, much like Tennessee, has prided itself on being good in all kinds of sports. But what have they really done lately? It's not 1951 anymore. It's not the late, great Burt Reichardt telling me, boy, the hardest hit I ever took was on a kickoff in the Sugar Bowl, and that 51 team against Maryland when we got beat. Yeah, that was a tough hit. Number 3 is a little controversial because of basketball, but Kansas. Now, Kansas has often been playing with, say, 60-odd scholarship players like an FCS team. This is one of the reasons why football, which I actually remember was very good, a top 10 team as recently as 2007, has, in the playoff era, gone 3-42 in the Big 12. So the idea, I mean, these are all, football schools. What are they doing and all this? Boston College, you think big market. Why would you get rid of them? Because who follows Boston College in Boston? It's a pro sports town. Yeah. Hockey, sure, but do they really need to be in a Power 5 conference for that? How about Louisville? Scandal-ridden. Scandal-ridden. But Bobby Petrino ain't around there anymore. They were 2-10 and 0-8 in the conference last year in football. And Louisville just seems, is it a Power 5 conference? I mean, you'd think, well, with Denny Crum and all that. They're in a Metro conference back in those days. The old Metro, that's, kids, there used to be a school conference that was thought to be very good in basketball, and it was called the Metro Conference. It was never quite the best, but it was never quite the worst. Memphis State, when they were Memphis State, was in it for, okay, enough of the history lesson. But the question here is, is Louisville really there? Now, they do pay their women's basketball coach twice what Tennessee does, which kind of explains the demise of the Lady Vols now, doesn't it? Number 6, Illinois. A lot of tradition. They're not going to drop out, but it seems like they got to hope that the other team has a lot of travel delays to be able to beat them. I mean, Illinois for the last few years has been the worst football program in the Big Ten. And they haven't been all that good in hoops either. Oregon State. Oregon State's real good in baseball. Other than that, Colorado. Yeah, Colorado is, I talk about schools that I think should win more. One of them, believe it or not, Wake Forest. I think that people, it's a small campus, all that, big city for as far as college athletics are concerned. But, if you wanted to be a big fish in a small pond on campus, and I think most football players do, even if they go to Ohio State with its enrollment of 51,000. Let's Wake Forest. They're one of those schools that I say they ought to win more. One of the teams I think ought to lose more is Colorado. In the shadow of a pro team, what's Colorado? Even though they won a national title in 90, they shouldn't have. They were given an extra down to do it, right? So I realized the Buffaloes actually won their division a couple of years back, but it's always this program, it just, Colorado. Even when they win, it doesn't seem like they should. And they're kind of an afterthought. Now here's one, the first SEC team on the list, Arkansas. Arkansas has not, I know that, 95, when the SEC West, Nolan Richardson won the National Basketball Championships. And under Bobby Petrino is real good too, but that was under Bobby Petrino. And I know Arkansas is historically good in baseball, but doesn't it seem like Arkansas should have made a bigger impact in the SEC? Conventional wisdom is this year's worst team in the SEC in football. And there's another kind of surprising thing. Baylor in the Big 12. Well, Big 12 has 10 teams. Boy, a lot of Big 10 teams, looking at, should you be in? But Colorado is a difficult pick in the Pac-12, and Baylor might be a, old SWC team, but they didn't really win there. Looks like that they got to cheat to win big time, doesn't it? You look at the basketball scandals, the football scandals. Yeah. Just seems to be a lot of a bad apple. Teams that could get kicked out of the Power 5, I don't think any of them will, to be brutally honest with you. Too many TV deals, too many contracts, all that. But you know what could happen if a college president, if they start paying the players, the Big 5 teams move off, and a college president doesn't like the direction and says that's not what we want to do with our athletic programs, those are the 10 programs might leave.
The Happy Box meal featuring plentiful appetizers.